January 16th, 2019, and I'm so excited because I'm getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers, which has been my goal for a very long time. And my husband and I have been working very hard on this channel. We try to get out 2 videos a week, although sometimes it just gets overwhelming, and you know, we have life to live and jobs to do and work to be done, so sometimes we get behind, but we're trying to do better. And moving forward in 2019, we really want to make a commitment to try to do at least 2 videos a week, and when we can, maybe even 3. But I got another comment from Mr. John Doe. Thank you so much, John Doe, for being so involved in our community and always asking questions. I don't know why John Doe's questions always seem to just sort of get to me, but he wanted me to do a video that had all of my dogs. And so, Mr. John Doe, I'm going to do a video that has all of my dogs. Also, if you're wondering why I am wearing a workout outfit for this video, it's actually because I just started a new channel that's all about my fitness and weight loss journey. And I'm kind of documenting. Right now I'm going to be doing a transformation challenge at the gym that I go to. So I started vlogging and I'm going to document the whole process. My goal is to get J-Lo abs, but you know, I don't know. It's hard to get J-Lo abs, but hey, I'm just gonna try, and all I can do is the best that I can do and see what happens. So right now I have with me my beautiful Wesley. Wesley, can you say hi? Wesley's a little camera shy, but as you can see, he looks like a little teddy bear. Wesley is a baby doll face, long coat, Chihuahua. He has a beautiful fantail when he puts it up. Of course, he's not going to put it up when I'm holding him like this, but when he puts it up, he has a gorgeous fantail. He makes really pretty babies because he's pretty. So let me kind of go over a little bit of history about the Sweetie Pie Pets channel. So I am a Chihuahua breeder. I started out doing it as sort of a hobby. They call that a hobby breeder. I work from home, and we had 4 kids at the time that were at home, and now most of my kids are grown, but I wanted something that I could do as a hobby with the kids here at the house that the kids can be involved in. And it was really important to me that animals were a big part of my life, because growing up, it was the most important part of my childhood, was all of the animals that we had. I absolutely loved having animals. And I grew up out in the country, and we had 3 acres. And so actually where I grew up, my mother had grown up in the same valley, and her father had been a dairy farmer, and her grandfather, and they owned this whole valley. And so she grew up with all kinds of animals, lots of cows, but they also had other farm animals. They had horses and cats and dogs, and I'm not sure what else. But my grandfather sold the dairy farm, but he gave my mom a plot of land, and that's where I grew up, down in San Diego. Like I said, animals were a huge part of my life, and I really, really enjoyed my childhood. Every day spending it with the animals. We had goats, and oh my gosh, let me tell you, baby goats are the cutest little things ever. They love to prance around and like get up on rocks and jump off, and oh my gosh, they're just so cute. So we had goats, we had ducks, we had geese, we had chickens and dogs and cats. We had a couple horses too. We didn't have them continuously, but for a couple of years here and there, we would have a horse and then we'd get rid of the horse. But I absolutely loved having animals as a child. And so when I became a mother, it was important to me to share that joy with my children. The only problem is I don't live out in the country and I don't have 3 acres. So I had to find an animal that would, you know, fit nicely in a housing development, and that's where the Chihuahua love comes, because Chihuahuas are a perfect pet to have if you don't have a lot of space. They don't need a lot of space. They honestly don't even really need to go outside ever. If you want to have your Chihuahuas just in the house, that is perfectly fine. They can get plenty of exercise just running around in the house, because they're a small dog and they were absolutely bred just to be lap dogs. Chihuahuas were bred to sit on your lap. That's their job. When we're talking about how intelligent Chihuahuas are, I have to give them 100% A+, because they always do what they were bred to do. Missy, are you doing what you were bred to do? I'm sitting on my lap. I like to kiss them so fast, it makes their head vibrate. As you can tell, they love it. That's the point of having a lap dog. You can kiss them really fast. This is Bruce. Bruce is a long coat lilac with tan points. He is also a baby doll Chihuahua with the really short nose. I mean, look how cute he is. Like, that is just the cutest thing. Bruce is my love. Oh my gosh, I love this dog. I mean, I love Wesley too. I love all my dogs. But there's just something about this dog. I think it's the way that he, like, when I go to pick him up, he actually grabs my hands like this. All I have to do is put my hand out like that, and he gets on my hand and grabs it like this. I mean, just like he's doing right now. That's how I pick him up. And it just, I don't know, there's something about it when the dog really, really trusts you, that it just has this connection. There's just a bond with a dog that really trusts you that's more than a dog that doesn't trust you. And because he's a lilac, if you breed him with a chocolate, then you often get more lilac. So you have to be careful breeding the genetics. You have to be careful. You can't breed a lilac with a lilac, or like, that's why sometimes you hear about blue merles having health problems, because a lot of times they are inbred. A lot of people will breed them together over and over and over to try to, it's called line breeding. You can breed dogs that are related, but they can't be super close related, because if they're too closely related, they will start to have health problems in the line. Okay, so we moved into the housing development, and I decided to get my first Chihuahua, and her name was Jane. And after we had Jane for a while, I just absolutely loved her, and the kids loved her. I decided to go ahead and try to have a litter, just for the fun of it, just to show my kids what it's like to have baby animals. And I'm not necessarily telling everyone to go out there and do that. You know, I know a lot of people are really anti-breeders, and I might even get some flack for posting this video. And I hope I don't. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that animals were a big part of my childhood growing up, and we didn't mistreat them. They were pets, you know. They did live outside. Where I grew up, my mom was very much of the dairy farmer mentality, where farm animals are farm animals and humans are humans, and you don't have the animals in the house and humans don't live in the barn. Okay, so that was her mentality. That was how I was raised, but we were still very good to our animals. Now, I do think that I've changed a little bit. I've matured from my childhood. I actually do kind of treat my dogs more like humans now, and I'm not saying everyone has to. That's just where I'm at right now. I love to have my dogs in my bed with me. I think it's super fun, and I think a lot of Chihuahua lovers like that, and that's actually why we like Chihuahuas, because they are bred to be lap dogs, and we want them in our lap. Like, that's the point of having a Chihuahua, right? So I have sort of grown from the way that I was when I very first started my breeding program. So at first I was just a hobby breeder. I was just doing it for fun. I just wanted to have a litter or two just to show my kids how fun it was. But I think that experience really helped me to realize how much we love our pet. How much did we love Jane? I mean, we lost Jane, but she had been a wonderful dog and we'd really loved her. And I really developed a fond love for Chihuahuas with my first Chihuahua, Jane. So after Jane, we ended up going through getting a couple of other Chihuahuas, and it just sort of grew from there. And with each one that I got, I kind of realized what it was that I liked about certain looks or certain behaviors or certain personalities. And so it sort of went from there. And this has been going on for years, and I've sort of developed this breeding program that's very different from a lot of breeders, because my number one important factor is about socialization. I don't like breeders that have big, huge facilities that just have dogs living out in kennels and they never get any human interaction, because if dogs live in the wild and that's how they live, that's fine. But if we're going to take an animal and we're going to domesticate it, then we need to treat the animal the way that we've domesticated the animal to be. And if we have domesticated dogs, we've domesticated wolves into Chihuahuas, and we literally bred them to be lap dogs, then that's what their job is, and it's our responsibility to make sure that they get to have access to that job. So I refuse to be one of those breeders that just puts their dogs off in some kennel, and to me, I have to have a lot of socialization. That's very important. So I have what I call affiliate breeders, and basically they're just friends of mine, and they will sometimes breed with my males, or some of them have their own males, and I actually have some of my males living at their houses. So that way we have puppies that can come in, and I do have puppies available here and there, but that's how I'm able to have so many subjects to record for my channel. So it kind of worked out, because this way I have new puppies coming in, I can record a newborn, I can record them being born if one of the females is here when the puppies are born. They're not always here when they're born. Sometimes they're at my affiliates, or sometimes they're in the hospital if they have to have any medical assistance. But sometimes they're actually born here, and I am the one delivering the puppy, and my youngest daughter is 16 and she helps me, so she's grown up. All my kids have grown up doing this. They completely are natural around delivering puppies because they've seen it so often, and they've helped, and they've rolled up their sleeves and just gotten right in there. And I feel proud of that as a mother because, like I said, that was a huge part of my childhood, was being involved with these animals. And I think it taught me like a lot of life skills. I really do. It taught me about the birds and the bees, if nothing else, and it taught me about life and death, and it taught me about love and commitment and loyalty and being a caregiver, and it's taught me a lot of things, and I wanted to teach my kids those same lessons. And now Raina is going to help me finish telling the story. This is Raina. And if you guys ever watched the movie Jurassic Park, where they're running through the jungle and they have to go to like this power plant section of the island or something, and there's a Australian guy with her and he's helping her to ward off all of the dinosaurs. But at one point he realizes that the dinosaurs were actually outsmarting them and the dinosaurs were hunting them the whole time. And right when he realizes this, right before he gets eaten by this dinosaur, he looks at the camera and he says, "Clever girl." And I don't know what it is about that movie, or like the dinosaur looking through the jungle leaves. I don't know, but my husband and I always say that whenever we look at Raina's little face. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't really look like a dinosaur, but we just like to look her in the eyes and say, "Clever girl." However, we did an intelligence test with her as one of our test subjects, and she wasn't very clever. Oh my goodness. You can watch that video if you want. But we love her nonetheless, even if she's not clever. And besides that, she is clever because she does her job. So throughout the years doing my breeding program, I had different aspects of it. The marketing side of it is like, there's breeding the dogs, and then there's the marketing side of it. And the marketing is actually my background. I have some background in marketing, and I actually really I love the dogs. But doing the marketing side of it, like all the videos and all the film and all the, stuff that we do, like the pictures, the photography and the videography, that's the stuff that I find the most interesting and the most fun. And it's the easiest thing for me to talk about because it's my true passion. So I had started my YouTube channel as a way to promote the puppy sales that I was doing. And I started it maybe a couple of years ago. And in fact, let me see. So I posted my very first YouTube video on my Sweetie Pie Pets channel on September 27, 2015. So that's over 3 years ago. And I just started the channel as a way just to promote my dogs, my puppies, and show people, because a lot of people that buy puppies, some of them are out of state and they can't come and see the puppies in person, or maybe they are going to come and see the puppy and pick up the puppy, but they want to make sure that it's the dog that they want. So I like to be able to show people the puppy's personality and, show videos so that people feel like they can kind of get to know the dog before they make a decision whether or not they want to buy the dog. So that's how I started the channel. And after about 2 years of just kind of randomly putting videos of puppies here and there, I started noticing that I was sort of building some subscribers. And I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. I didn't really even know much about YouTube, which, to be honest, is kind of shameful because I was kind of in the marketing industry and I should have known. But social media is a new aspect to marketing, and I wasn't trained on that. When I got my degree in marketing, I didn't know anything about social media. Wasn't really a thing. I mean, it wasn't a thing. So this is all new. It's a new side of marketing, but it's super fun. It's like I can just get on here and talk and just be me, and I don't have to market anymore. I no longer have to try to do something or try to promote something that's not. I swear, like a lot of marketing, like when you see those billboards of pictures of hamburgers at Carl's Jr., do you think that hamburger that you go to Carl's Jr. and order, is it really honestly going to look like that? I don't think so. That's called marketing. That is what marketers do. I know because I was in marketing. They take a picture of something and make you feel like you can't live without that thing. But then once you go and get that thing, it doesn't really look like that. I mean, I'm sure Carl's Jr. hamburger is kind of good, but it's not really like the best thing in the world. And I certainly know it's not going to be as good as that billboard picture makes it look. So, I don't know. I think I got kind of a bad taste in my mouth for marketing. I'm tired of stuff that appears fake. I just want the real thing. So that's where I ended up going with my channel. I started just putting myself out there, and this is just the real me. What you see is what you get. These dogs aren't photoshopped. That's what Raina really looks like, and she's beautiful, and I am a flawed person. I am not awesome. I'm just, what you see is what you get, but I just do the best that I can to give my dogs the best love and to make sure that any puppies that I do end up adopting out, that they go to a very, very good home. That is what is important to me, that all of my puppies get very good homes. So I do screen the people that call me when I have a puppy that's available for sale. I want to make sure that they're going to be able to offer a very good home for the puppy, that they're going to be able to care for the puppy, and that the puppy is not just going off to live with somebody that is going to neglect it. That's not okay with me. So my Tina is going to help me conclude the story. This is Tina, by the way. She is 13 years old, and she's the only female that I kept after retiring. And the reason that she's the only one is because she's the oldest one that I kept after retiring. Jane was my first Chihuahua, so I didn't have to worry about Jane, but Tina was the next one that I got after Jane that I really was attached to. And Tina had a couple of litters, and then I retired her, and of course we're very, very attached to her, and so I had to retire her and just keep her. So we have this 13-year-old who has missing teeth, which is why her tongue hangs out. And Tina she is so well connected with her family. She knows us so well. I mean, she has spent every waking moment with us since she was 8 weeks old, so she better know us. She goes on vacations with us. She hides in my purse when we go up the elevator and barks at people, and it's hilarious. I took her on a houseboating trip with us, which was no dogs allowed, but look how small she is. They didn't see her. She was just, even when they came on board to show us how to use the boat, she was hiding in a crate in the closet, and they didn't see her. So she goes everywhere with us, and we are so attached to Tina, and I'm actually really worried about it when it's her time to go. It's going to be a really, really tough time for the family because we're all very attached to Tina. She's almost completely blind at this point, and she's missing most of her teeth, but she still gets around, and what we always joke about is how she is always happy. She still plays with her food. She plays these funny games where she goes over to get her food, and she tosses the kibble in the air and then turns around and runs and chases it. And it is just the cutest thing because it shows me how much zest she still has for life. That at 13, almost completely blind, she's still playing this game with her food where she tosses it and then goes and looks for it, and she can't even find it because she's blind. So in conclusion, I ended up sort of enjoying the videography side of Sweetie Pie Pets so much that I think that that's kind of the direction that I'm going to go with my Sweetie Pie Pets. I'm still breeding. I'm still hobby breeding right now, but it's not my number one focus. My number one focus moving forward is going to be doing my YouTube channel and my videos, and possibly even some pet photography. And I love having this community where a lot of Chihuahua lovers can come and we can share with each other some of our tips and tricks and things that we've learned and our failures. I'll admit, I have had failures. So there's a lot of things that I think that we can all learn from each other, and I hope that you guys are getting something out of this channel. I love reading all of your guys' comments, and it kind of gives me ideas sometimes on what sorts of things you want to talk about. And so John Doe, thank you so much for asking me to put my dogs in the videos. And I'm hoping this video actually answers a couple of questions, because another person asked me why I have so many puppies. And that's why, is because the puppies will come through here that are either from Raina or from my affiliates, and I will come through here and I'll have the subject to do videos and photo shoots, and then so I have a lot of dogs to do video shoots on, and I'm hoping that as my channel continues to grow, I'll end up having even more subjects to do video shoots. So that wraps up my video for today, and thanks so much, you guys, for being part of this community. If you want to check out my other channel, just go into the search and search for Skinny is a Bad Word, and you can start back. I started my very first video on December 31st. I'm just going to be documenting this transformation challenge where I'm trying to get abs like J-Lo. Just kidding. All right, guys. See you next time.